I hope this platform can connect women and support them in becoming top-notch professionals that we want to invite to panels, that we want to hear voices from, that we want to see out in the world, carrying their messages and having ideas and proposing their ideas. I think too often we still see all men panels or discussions that only include these men voices, and I think this initiative can help changing the balance and make women matters for what they have to say rather than for their genders. They are excellent women. They just sometimes need to be identified, connected, and I hope this network is going to help do that.
Just one word on why I decided to join WiChes. For two reasons mainly. The first one is because I see in my everyday work brilliant women in the field, and I want to help them rise up the way that me and some of my colleagues did throughout our career. But also because I want to amplify women voices in the China discussion. I think it's well deserved and should be coming and has long been one of my objectives. So very, very eager and very excited to join and to work with all of you in the future.
I believe that the initiative is a very much needed addition to the China watching landscape in Europe. There's a need to create a space where female researchers and analysts feel comfortable sharing their own perspectives and experiences. And in this context, I think that the initiative will create a new value added in terms of fostering connections between different generations of female China watchers with diverse backgrounds, both geographically and culturally. And I also believe that this should enable them to learn from each other and share their knowledge and insights, especially when it comes to dealing with gender-specific issues in the field.
In European China analysis, especially in the field of international relations and security studies, there are far fewer women analysts in key positions and in public discourse than there are men. Manels are still a thing. This is why this networking initiative is needed and why I joined it, to build a supportive community among women in the field, promote gender diversity and highlight women's voices in public discourse on China.
I am absolutely thrilled to see the Women Insight on China platform take off and really excited to be joining as a co-chair. It is a much-needed effort to support female China scholars in an area thus far dominated by our male peers. Especially in the region where I work, the Western Balkans, female voices in public debates on foreign policy and international relations are quite scarce. So I hope and believe that the WiChes platform will help us to better identify the ways in which we can recalibrate this disbalance, empower other colleagues, especially younger ones, and also apply a gendered lens to China-related research.
For me, there are two main reasons why I think that initiatives like WiChes or the Women Insight on China, being the full name, are much needed in our field. First relates to intersectionalism. As many of my co-chairs already mentioned, the senior positions in the field of Chinese studies, but also international relations and social sciences, more broadly, are still predominantly held by men. But there is also a lack of diversity in research when it comes to not just sex and gender, but also socioeconomic status, ethnic background, and other attributes, with the positions being held by white middle-class Europeans, which is obviously something that intersectional feminism would try to address as well. And the second reason relates to the sharing of knowledge and tips between more senior and junior researchers, so that we could try and dismantle any gatekeeping practices in our own field, but also research more broadly.
I'm invited to speak on various professional and academic panels on China on several occasions. In some of these cases, I have to tell them that I'm not necessarily the most ideal expert on issues such as, for instance, human rights, security risks, or corruption. And in these cases, it tends to come out that eventually they are looking for a female on the panel because of gender balance. And it is absolutely fine for them if I am not so knowledgeable about that aspect of China, because they need a female and not an expert. These situations show how few women are there in this profession in Hungary and beyond, and this is why initiatives like WiChes are very much needed.
The main reason I decided to join this initiative is my aspiration to support female China researchers from my country in enhancing their collaboration with European colleagues, gaining opportunities to participate in joint events, and sharing insights and experience. Ukrainian female China researchers are underrepresented both nationally and at the European level. This is primarily due to the traditional dominance of men in the fields of political analysis, security, and international relations, which provides an opportunity to amplify women's voices and foster deeper integration into the community of their European female colleagues.
Hello, everybody. This is a message to explain why I have joined WiChes. So my name is Alicia Garcia-Herrero. I'm an economist. I've been fascinated by the Chinese economy for years. I live between Taiwan and Hong Kong, and this greater China aspect of the Chinese economy is very, very keen, is very important to me. And I actually think it's very important for the world. It's certainly very important to Europe. There's a number of key issues that will affect all of us coming from China, whether it's, innovation, whether it's industrial capacity or even overcapacity, whether it is aging or a number of things that I hope you will all be interested in. Thank you. Bye bye.